Hi guys, and welcome back to welcome back to Yasmin Collects. I was gonna do this funny little Disney princess voice for the first few seconds of this video, but I honestly can't muster up the campy strength to do so. I've got some princess wings that I found at a random thrift store, and today I am excited to do hopefully my first of many toy reviews or toy spotlights on this YouTube channel. We're going to be starting this off right with an 80s toy, and it's also pretty niche. I have no idea if any of you have ever heard of this or are going to know what this is. But my friends, I am pleased to share with you Pouche, the assistant to the Easter Bunny. Me and Pouche have a fun little story. I was in a basement antique shop, one of those shops that has different store sections, and first of all, I wasn't really having a very good time because the store itself smelled really bad, and I'm pretty sensitive to scents, and if like there's mold in a basement, I can like tell almost immediately, and there was definitely some sort of mold or water damage down there, and it was like parceled out by different categories, and I was like walking down the stairs feeling faint, and my partner was like, why don't we just go home? And I'm like, no, I must look at every little toy, every single thing. It was around Christmas time, so there were like Christmas things out, and I was just like, I need to look at all of it before we go. Towards the end of my trip, I came across Pouche. There were 3 of them new in the box, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at that, because many of you guys probably know, but if this is your first video watching from me, I have 3 rabbits, and they pretty much are my personality type. Of course, to see an 80s toy that revolves around rabbits, I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. But he was $35, which I felt was kind of a lot for me. Left the store without him. Several days to a week and a half go by, and I'm telling you guys, I was thinking about Pouche all day, every day. I was just like texting my partner and bringing it up and trying to do some research, but I couldn't really find too much in the toy, and I was like, you know what? I need to drive all the way back to this store, which wasn't very close to me, by the way, and buy this dang rabbit. I have to have it. I have to have it. I ran back to the store, and you know how sometimes things can be gone. If you wait too long, you know, you kind of want to buy old things as soon as you see them or else they could be gone. But all 3 of them were still sitting there in the children's section just waiting for someone to pick them up and love them, which was me, and I bought it, and I'm just going to do a little unboxing for you guys today and chit chat about this. Now, I'm not sure how some toy collectors are going to feel about this, but I am not somebody that leaves things in boxes. I think that toys were meant to be enjoyed and looked at and touched and all of that stuff. I am keeping the box in decent condition, but I've opened it several times and I have no problem doing that whatsoever because like there's no reason to have things just sit in a box. Leave a comment down below if you also grew up with parents in the late 90s, early 2000s where the Beanie Baby craze had just died down, so everybody was like buying up Barbie dolls and leaving them in the box. There were so many toys that I had as a kid that weren't really mine. My parents bought them for me, but then wouldn't let me play with them, and allegedly they were supposed to be like a family heirloom or something I could sell for a lot of money in a couple years, which I never ended up getting those toys anyways. Here he is! This is Pouche! Look at him, he's so cute! He's like a quintessential 80s toy in the sense that he kind of has that little bit of stiffness that comes along with these older stuffies. Of course, he has been in a box for God only knows how long, so that can also contribute to the stiffness, but he is so freaking cute. He's got his little bow tie, a pouch, which you can kind of open, but not without stretching the material, so I don't do that too much. And then he's got his hat right here that says Pouche, the assistant to the Easter Bunny. Originally, I was calling this guy Pouche, but as I read the little book that comes with this toy, I realized that it's definitely not Pouche because that doesn't make any sense because he has a pouch. So of course his name would be Pouche. The premise of the story goes like this. Pouche is essentially a disabled rabbit who is born with one ear lopsided down, which is supposed to be a defect, which I personally think is especially funny because I have a lop-eared rabbit and then 2 regular eared rabbits, and having a lop ear is definitely not something that's considered a disability within rabbits. There's, in fact, lops were specifically bred to have their ears flop down like that, but that's a whole other thing. He was also born with a pouch, which none of the other rabbits in the community were, making him feel really sad and awkward, and it's basically kind of like the story of Rudolph. Originally, when I filmed this video, because this is my second time doing this, I read the book all the way through and kind of gave my commentary, but I decided against that for two, maybe I guess 3 reasons. So the first reason being, this is actually a very long book. It's tiny and the pages are tiny, but there's a lot of words on this page. If you're interested in the book, I believe you can still purchase it on Amazon. The book was written by Louise Brickley, and I believe that Louise Brickley also designed like the concept and the stuffy and all of that stuff. There are several dates on the box, but as far as I can tell, the original release of this is 1987, and this one that I have here is probably from 1989, since that is the last date listed on the box. Cottontail Creations Inc. is the company that produced it, and they are based in Charlotte, North Carolina. The second reason why I decided against reading the book and giving my commentary is that I am personally not a huge fan of the story of Rudolph. Not to be a downer or anything, but I do think it's a little strange to teach children that their differences are only valuable or worth caring about if they're able to make some sort of contribution to society. I just think that's kind of not the greatest message to send. I know, I gotta make everything unfun. The person behind this, Louise Brickley, seems to be very, very passionate about her creation. A lot of heart, love, and soul went into this, so I feel like it's a bit unfair for me to unearth this niche 80s toy and just kind of rip into the story, because at the end of the day, my opinion is just my opinion. And then what solidified my decision not to do this is that there's actually a website. I don't know like when it was most recently updated, but essentially Pouche disappeared from the world for a little bit and then returned as a character that seems to visit schools and educate them on disability inclusion and awareness. I haven't looked into it too much, but I myself am disabled, so that did make me happy to see that it seems like the story, which I think initially was written from that more like Rudolph, older types of messaging story perspective, it seems like that has kind of shifted into a more like disability and inclusion effort, and you know, making kids happy by showing them a cute little bunny is fine by me. So I'm not gonna nitpick this story, but I will give you guys a synopsis. I kind of already did that, but I'll get into some more detail. So Pouche tries to do all of these different sports activities. He tries to join the pole vaulting team, but fails because his pouch gets caught on everything. And overall, like, my boy is just having a really, really difficult time. Also in this community, the Easter Bunny is a girl, which I think is really fun, and she's basically like the king kahuna of the community. There's other animals involved. I don't think there's any humans in this story. And here's like this cute picture here, animal school. He tries to be a drummer in the marching band as well, but that also fails. And eventually he decides that his contribution to Animalville, Animal Society, is to help out the Easter Bunny, because I think she has an injury and she can't deliver the Easter eggs. So he puts all the eggs in his pouch. He makes himself this cute little hat, the assistant to the Easter Bunny, and he delivers all the eggs. The Easter Bunny holds a big party. Pouche thinks that the party is going to be a public shaming of him, because he does have a history of experiencing public shaming, which, look at him, he doesn't deserve that. But it's actually the Easter Bunny honoring him for taking over this role and position, and he becomes the official assistant to the Easter Bunny. It appears that Pouche has gone through several different renditions. I've been on a bit of an eBay search, just kind of trying to find information about this. It seems like this is a North Carolina local company that I think partly still exists, and I'm assuming that if you guys have heard of this toy or seen this toy, you probably would be based in North Carolina or one of the surrounding southern regions. I'll insert a picture of the other rendition of this stuffy that I could find. I personally like this one better. I think it's very, very cute. I love his pink little nose, and you know, he's just so cute and small and easy to hug, easy to love. I think for like especially a small child, he would be especially easy to hold and interact with. I'll give you guys like a size reference. Here is a zebra Littlest Pet Shop. I don't know if that helps. Did I just want to show you the zebra? Maybe, because look at me, so cute. There's also different merchandise, which this has kind of become a little bit of an inside joke between myself and my partner. And for Christmas this year, he bought me a very special gift. He bought me this additional Pouche merchandise. It is a mug. I have no idea if this was part of their actual promotional release or if someone handmade this. I feel like it has to be the first one because I don't really hear a lot about this particular toy, but of course it says Pouche, the assistant to the Easter Bunny, and it goes on both sides. There's no label or anything on the bottom of the mug, so again, I don't know if this was part of the original franchise, but I thought this was such a cute thing to have, and I'm kind of like in this phase where if I see more Pouche merchandise and materials, I will probably be picking it up. That's pretty much all I have to say about Pouche. This was a relatively quick video just because, you know, I wanted to show you guys this adorable little toy, talk about some of the history, and on the off chance that one of you owned this toy or played with it in the 80s, I really want to hear your comments down below. I want to know, did you get this toy for Christmas, or I guess more appropriately, did you get it for Easter? Do you remember seeing this? Have I unlocked a core memory? I'd love to know. Please tell me your experiences with this little guy in the comments down below. I will say my final piece on this is that I do imagine that this would be the kind of gift that your great-grandmother would give you, or an aunt that doesn't know you very well and just assumes, like, you know, little kids like toys, just because this is kind of something more that I would expect an adult in the 80s to own, and I can't justify my reasoning behind this, but it just makes sense in my brain, especially with the little book and things like that. I don't really know how entertaining that would be to a kid, but for me as an adult, I think it's precious, and I keep him displayed with my tapes and everything like that. And of course, I love this quintessential 80s, I guess also kind of early 90s background, the blue background with the picture of the toy and the book as well. So that is Pouche, the assistant to the Easter Bunny, a adorable little 80s toy that I was so excited to share with you guys. If you like this video, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel, Yasmin Collects. I do all kinds of things. VCRs are one of my favorite things, so if you're interested in like electronics repair or general chitter chatter about old things, then you are in the right place. Once again, thank you to everyone that watches my videos, likes, comments, and subscribes. It means the world to me, and I will see you guys in my next video.